Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. So here in the UK, the mandate for wearing masks has now been lifted. So we no longer have to mask up when entering into supermarkets and that kind of thing. But it's still kind of required if you're on like public transport or in taxis or that kind of thing, in the close proximity to other people. Wearing a mask now is a matter of choice, personal preference, rather than a legal requirement. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, I think. I'm still going to wear them. My personal preference is to still wear a mask when I go into shops and supermarkets and things like that. There are certain places like the post office where the operators, the ladies behind the counter, Julie and Pam in our local post office, are behind perspex sheets anyway. But if somebody comes into the shop behind you and you're stood in a queue waiting to be served, then I still think it's prudent to wear one. I know, it's different people in different countries, and there are certain areas in like the States where there is no mandate, and in others there are mandates and all that kind of thing. So it's just a question of, like I said, personal preference for a lot of people these days. But I think the masks will be around for quite some time. And as the coronavirus drops out of pandemic and becomes endemic, which I think it probably will do, and we'll just treat it the same way that we do with flu, which will be booster shots every year and that kind of thing. I think we'll get, face masks will become a kind of 21st century accessory until it disappears from like consciousness, if you like. I think we'll still see them for quite some time, even though the rollout of the vaccine across the world is going as well as it can do, better in some areas than it is in others. But yeah, I think face masks will become just an ordinary everyday accessory for quite some time to come yet. So it's been very, very windy over the last few days. I think we were hit by one of these storm things. I think it was Storm Emile or some name such like that. But it's been really, really windy on a night for the last 2 or 3 nights, which has kind of kept us awake. Apart from Mr Bentley, of course, because he's been buried under the duvet and has been cushioned, and the sound of the wind's been muffled for him, so he's just not been bothered at all. But Ian and I have had quite fitful sleeps over the last, since Sunday really. So yeah, it's been quite difficult. So we've been a bit tired, particularly when it's been getting to like 9 o'clock at night. We've both been falling asleep watching the TV and that kind of stuff. So you've just got to be really careful with these high winds, particularly when you're out in the car. Especially with the side gusts, but also when you're getting out, because you don't want the door to be whipped out of your hand. That's the last thing you want. just primp the old hair before we start. There we go. So we're at Indigo Blue today. We're doing some more laser cutting. Oh, you can see it going. So those are the next batch of the journals, which are just being cut now, ready for dispatch on Monday. But while I'm here, I thought you might be interested to see how rubber stamps are made and pressed, because this is what Indigo Blue do as well. This is Alfie. Say hello, Alfie.
Hello, Alfie.
There you go. So Alfie's pressing some red rubber stamps. So I'll talk you through the process if you're interested.
Stamp.
Okay, board. So these are the stamp boards. So these are made out of
what's the old phones used to be made of?
Bakelite.
Bakelite, that's the one.
Which is a form of plastic. It's an early form of plastic, but can be taken up to very, very high temperatures, which is why the boards are made out of these. So Alfie's put a sheet of red rubber.
Raw red rubber.
Yes.
On top of the design, which we then cover with an oven sheet.
So this is a non-stick, heat-resistant oven sheet.
Yeah. Goes in the press. Pump it up to about 350 bar pressure. And the timer doesn't work, so we've got a nice kitchen timer here.
High tech. And that's it then. There's no start button to press or anything.
No, it's on all the time. So it works on a thermostat. See, quality machinery. Yeah, so it's on all the time. So it's basically trying to stay around 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
So that's your thermostat. Now in real life, that actually isn't flashing. It's only flashing because of the way the camera's working.
So it does go down a little bit once you put the board and the rubber in, but you'll hear it clicking on and off, and that's the thermostat turning on and off,
right,
to raise back up to 350.
And look where it's made, the machine.
Where is it?
Jackson Marking Press.
Oh yes, so it's made in
there, isn't it?
Vernon, Illinois.
Illinois, yes.
Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Mount Vernon, Illinois. Jackson Precision Press. There you go.
So you've got 3 minutes of filling.
So there's 3 minutes until it beeps to say that it's done.
Yeah.
Right, we'll come back when it starts beeping then.
We're off.
We're off. So that's releasing the pressure. I can feel the heat.
Out comes the
Good
board.
for Chelsea sandwiches.
Absolutely. Paninis. It's a really expensive panini press. And of course there's no design on the top because it's underneath.
There's the magic. That's where the magic happens.
Da, da, da. There you go. So there are your red rubber stamps. Deeply etched red rubber stamps. So all you have to do is literally cut them out of the sheet.
Yeah, so we trim the sheet.
Just like that.
Mount it on a bit of foam.
So this is the cling foam. Clingy back stuff.
Cling mount. When it's cooled down.
Yes.
So there's your cling foam.
Because it's still very, very hot. You can still feel the heat coming off it.
And then Di over in the corner.
Who's just having a lunch. That's what the machine is there. She does all the scroll work and the cutting out. But she's not here at the moment because she's having a dinner or a lunch. Look at this. Somebody's having a snuggle. Hee hee, what a baby. And I don't mean Bentley. It's Tuesday morning and I'm just on the way down to the local supermarket just to stock up on a few bits and pieces that we've used up over the weekend, potatoes and that kind of thing. I did a braised beef and mushroom casserole last night for our main meal and it was absolutely beautiful, but we did it with jacket potatoes, and just poured all the beautiful rich sauce over the top of the potatoes, and it was just heaven, absolute heaven. So I just need to go and stock up on a few bits and pieces and a few household items as well. We're almost out of what we call washing up liquid, but what our American cousins call dish soap, and a few domestic bits and pieces like that. Nothing really exciting.
Good morning everyone, welcome to the workshop. Today I'm just going to show you around. I've been getting ready for the show. I apologise for the lighting. My bulb has gone in my other light, so I'm a little bit discombobulated this morning. I have a show in another week after this, not this weekend coming, but the weekend after in Whitby, which is one of the best shows of the year for me. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's the first outing of 2022. I'll be filming at the show to show you my friends and all my colleagues' stuff that they make, and also the strange and wonderful outfits. But I've got some things to show you today. First one is the Cluedo-matic. The Cluedo-matic is for any detective of a steampunk genre, or none, tick which box applicable, to look for clues. Instead of using a magnifying glass, it uses a special filter so you can spot and look for clues and footprints, etc. Has little lights on it. The green light means it's running, the red and blue light means that it's searching, and it's got the eye as well, and it has on the little meter Cluedo-matic magnification level. Rather pleased with that. So that's number one. The other items I've got are in the cupboard, so I'll have to spin the camera around and show you. New products for this year, I've got the flashing cabochons with flat bottoms. They just stick on to boxes, bags, etc. But they are amazing, and they're the 6 colours I'm going to stock this year: orange, red, purple, TARDIS blue, teal and green. You can get them in different colours, but I'm just choosing to stock those colours. Plus I've got them in the other size as well, which I'll show you as we go around. I've got also the cogs, small packs of cogs. The steampunk corners are back in stock eventually. I'll say eventually because it's taken me a while to get them. I've also got now in stock these massive cogs which are going to the show with me, but they're also on the website. I have the flickering night lights. We have the crystal skull of Anubis. And we've got, down here, we've got the Paralematics, the poltergeist detectors. I think they're really lovely. Then in the other cupboard, we'll start at the top, we have the handhelds. These are the ones that generate star shapes. They're lovely, those. They're handhelds. I've got all the lightning discs in all the different colours. Not very good in here at the moment because it's bright. And then of course I've got the new handbags, and these are the 2022 models. They have a shoulder strap that goes on them, but they're really funky. And people say, oh, it doesn't match my outfit. Give it a minute, it will. Goes through all the different colours. I've also got a Stellarvernium collector, collecting rays from the ether. And I've also made what I've called a riff stitcher, and it's for stitching riffs in time. Plus I've got some more Paralematics there. And if we just spin around here, there we are. Now these are all packed. These are the large ones. If I put one there and you have a look at the small one next to it, you see the difference in size. They're the big daddies, those. I've also got some empty boxes here that I'm getting ready to start, which I know what I'm going to do with those. I've got some bits cut out, and then I've got a very large handbag which I'm part way through, and that'll be ready for next weekend as well. But there's stuff everywhere, but I know what everything is and what goes on what. I'm going to take you inside and show you something that I've been working on with my friend Karen, and Mike's going to do a paint effect on it, so I'll be back in a second. My friend Karen has cast this very, 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 very large octopus for me. See how thick it is there? It must be about 1 inch and a bit thick. But what we've done, we've laser cut a backing board for it. So I'm going to put a box on there with a switch and the battery in it. Then I'm going to put some lights coming out at either side, and then Mike's going to do a vintage metallic paint effect on him. I think he'll look stunning. It's about 14 inches high, but he's going to look wonderful, and when he's finished I'll show him to you.
Too early. Come here. Daily Teddy time. At least half an hour every day with Teddy. What do you want? Do you want a Teddy? Tell me. Tell me you want Teddy. Tell me you want Teddy. Who is it? You ready? Arr. Oh, missed. Sorry, just in case you can hear the music coming from downstairs. Ian's got Alexa playing the Carpenter's greatest hits. So, although I love the sound of Karen Carpenter's voice, just not while I'm trying to talk to you guys. So, while we were at Indigo Blue the other day, I was having some new stencils cut. So this is a new stencil design. So this is what I'm calling fan scales, because it can be either mermaid scales, fish scales, or whatever, or it could be kind of like Art Deco fans, kind of multi-use. So that's now done and dusted, and that will be on the website now if you're interested in that one. But one of the other things that I was doing while I was there, apart from having the journal covers cut, was for a long time now, since we've had access to laser cutters, not just necessarily with our friends at Indigo Blue, but also our original laser cutters down near Birmingham. One of the things I've always wanted to be able to do is to cut some basic kind of shapes. Particularly, I wanted to do some 2.5 inch artist trading coins. So substrate for making those out of the Medite, which is the low formaldehyde MDF. So this is the stuff that's a solid surface to work on to create ATCs on, artist trading coins. So this is also the stuff, because it's low formaldehyde, it's also carb 2 compliant, which I know is one of the American kind of benchmarks, if you like, for environmentally friendly products. So anyway, so all of the stuff that I use is carb 2 compliant. I won't use anything else, but I've always wanted to have some artist trading coins cut. So these are 2.5 inches in diameter, which is 63 millimeters in new money. So they're the exact right size. So I've now managed to be able to cut a substantial amount of these now. One of the trips that I went down recently, that's all I did. I went down and cut loads of these out. So these are now available in a pack of 8. There you go. Again, using the eco-friendly packaging. So a pack of 8 are now on the website as well. I've also been able to get, excuse me a moment, which have been out of stock on the website for a long time. The Prim Hearts, which are now back in stock, and also the Prim Stars, which are also back in stock. So along with those two, the ATCs or the AT coins and the fan scale stencil, it's like having 4 brand new products. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.